own cheese for the cam, nigga. If you smile on the gram, they caught me slipping. I'm that nigga. Right? Fame for the young, just cut the check. Let me rap, nigga. Rap, nigga. Gravatar, now I'm a traveling smack dealer. Get all Jenny Lamb with you. This is like the confessional of a lyrical career criminal. Success minimal, cause I won't.
Yeah. Y'all know what time it is, man. We back in the building. Side Barz, Pantha Politix Podcast Network. I am Seven Da Pantha, a.k.a. the Carolina Hurricane Ridiculous Slang, a.k.a. your baby mama's favorite rapper, a.k.a. Pod Strickland, if you're getting the point. And, of course, you know what it is on Side Barz, man. We don't bring you nothing but the dope over here. Today ain't no different. It ain't no different. As a matter of fact, today going to be super dope because, first of all, this record is crazy. But then after I dug a little beyond that one record that MJ hit me about, I was like, how I missed the bus on this. So, let's get right to it, man. Reef Hustle in the building, man. How you living, King?
Hey, yo, what up, man? You know what I mean? I'm all right, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't complain. You know, I'm granted another day, man. So I'm here, praying to make a change, man. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Freedom wave. You know what we doing?
Sure indeed. So for the people who are unaware, let's give them a little biographical information here. Where you from? And I guess my biggest question in the beginning would be where you from and what got you into MCing?
Reef Hustle, man. My name is Reef Hustle, man. I'm from the Bronx. And what got me into MCing was basically just living in the culture, man. You know what I'm saying? Or when I was young, I was living in Harlem until like I was like 5 years old, and then I moved straight to the Bronx. And I mean, it's really all she wrote. You know what I mean? Being around all of it, being around all the elements of hip hop, you couldn't do nothing but pick it up. You know what I'm saying? And being around it and seeing it every day, seeing it all day, from the graffiti to the rapping to the DJing to the breaking, seeing it all day is what really got me into it. But I've always loved music. I always had a genuine love for music. You know what I'm saying? The way I was raised, my mom's was on some like, yeah, you can't leave this house until this house is clean. You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
when she did that, it was just like, hey, she put on all that good music. You know what I'm saying? You really, really not realizing that this is like great music. You're really not realizing it, but until you get older, then you go into the club and like, oh, they playing this right here. Like, this is what my moms be playing. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
not really realizing that we all got the same experience, really the same experience in a home where most of us was on, our moms was like, yo, you ain't going nowhere until you clean up this house. And we just listening to that music. But hip hop is definitely, I got it from my big brother, rest in peace, Ron Benefit. And I got it from my other big brother, Ron K. You know what I'm saying? So
No doubt.
yeah.
Right. So who was some of your and I ask this question, usually people give me names like, oh, Rakim and Jay-Z, and I get all that, all the industry names I get.
Yep.
But like, who would it, like most of us who are MCs, our actual real first inspirations were people close to us. So like, who were those people for you?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. It's really a good question. Like you said, everybody would say Jay-Z, Nas, or KRS-One. Like, those are my number ones. That I'm not gonna lie. Those are my number ones. But who inspired me, which I'm sure that dudes like KRS and Rakim and Kane and all of those guys inspired them, was my brother my OG. His name is Rap Master D, man. For a lot of people who don't know, Rap Master D, he was, that's what they called him. You know what I mean? That was my he was like my big brother in them age and stuff like that, man. But I was impressed by him. You know what I mean? I was impressed by him. Him and my other man, which was his cousin, name was Pretty Boy Pat. You know what I mean? But I was really impressed by them, and they was the ones who got me into the rapping aspect. I was DJing at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I used to like what they used to do. And I was just like, oh yeah, I could definitely do this. You know what I'm saying? So I picked it up later on, after when they actually stopped doing it. I picked it up later on after that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but
Okay.
like you said, everybody gives you the same generic answers, but these are the people that I'm really talking about. They weren't famous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But they still was the culture. You know what I mean? So, you know, those are
That's
the brothers.
see, that's what I be trying to get to when I ask that question, because I always tell people, a lot of times the things that really drive us into doing this isn't the thing that you see up in big lights. It's that person that's never going to be recognized outside the
That's a fact.
neighborhood. But You know what I'm saying? Like, but that person was was the battery that got an Outback that made us say, hey, I want to try that. You know what I'm saying? Let me try to see if I can do it. You know what I mean? I like you was a DJ first. We actually used to battle this crew all the time, and one time we rocked, we went head up with them, and their DJ kicked the verse like Grandmaster D, and I was like, yo, what do I do? And they like, yo, you got to rap now. And I'm like, all right, cool. So then the next time we head up with them, I kicked my little verse. And they was like, yo, you shouldn't be DJing for these guys. You rap better than both of them. Just stop doing what you're doing. And I was like, all right, I sold my turntables the next week. So you know what I'm saying? Like I understand. I totally understand where you're coming from. I do want to ask you this because I think you might be the first rapper from. Are you the first MC from the Bronx I had on it? I know I had a producer from the Bronx on here. Okay, first MC from the Bronx has been on here. I do believe. I could be wrong, but I think that's where I'm at. Knowing the history of the culture, is there added pressure when you go places with knowing you're from not just New York, but from the mecca of hip hop? Like, is there added pressure that you feel? Do you feel like it's added pressure that you have to be excellent because you represent the Bronx?
No, I don't feel like there's added pressure. Is because New York City, period. New York City, period, has been a place where it's just taking no nonsense. You was either fire or you wasn't. You know what I mean? You was either good or you wasn't. So we were so working so hard on being fire, and until we felt that we got there, it really wasn't no pressure because New York is all pressure. It's all pressure. It doesn't matter what you're doing, whether you're rapping or you got a job, or you know what I'm saying, you're trying to figure it out. It's all pressure. So nah, I didn't really feel that way. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, I remember being in Texas. I was at South by Southwest, and I kicked the rhyme, and one bar that I said, I don't mess with Vans, like the sneaker Vans. I was like, I don't mess with those and they whack. You know what I'm saying? People was like, oh, boo, boo, you know what I'm saying? And I laughed at it because I mean it's 100%. This is my NY. I'm talking about NY-ish. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about my NY stuff, and I'm talking to people who really understand where I come from and how I'm playing it. I was dead serious. You know what I'm saying? But of course, and I still felt that I was in the lead MC. You know what I mean? Still felt the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the name say? It ain't really where you from, it's where you at. So if you kicking where you kicking, you bringing that flavor to whatever town that you coming to. You know what I'm saying? Whether they with it or not, you still bringing your flavor. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts. Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yep.
I feel that. Okay. Oh
So
yeah.
nah, I ain't feel there's no pressure, man. I ain't really feel there's no added pressure.
Oh, that okay. I know. I know, and I only asked that because I know there's a couple of people I know, especially that I met a few years back. They're from Brooklyn, and one of the guys, one of the things he said to me that stuck with me was like, "Man, I'm from Brooklyn, yo. I can't not do this. Like it's got to be like this. I'm from Brooklyn. I can't do nothing less than this." And I'm like, "Yo, you're right. Like I understand where you're coming from because when you start talking about the greater legacy in hip hop of MCing, and this is no disrespect to any other area or region in the country. There's no disrespect to none of y'all. All y'all have
Right.
a beautiful legacy of your own in hip hop you crafted. But New York is
Absolutely.
different. It's a different the bar is different in New York. When you start talking about greatest MCs of all time, like the majority of the first names that are all gonna come out your mouth are gonna be from people from New York. So
Right.
that's just the reality of the situation. And that's again no disrespect to nobody, but that's just the way it is. Um, okay, so what? Yeah, I do want to ask you that. Because of what you just said about going to different places and rocking. What's been your most memorable performance thus far?
That's another good question. I remember my brother Fred the Godson. We
Mm,
had the double XL at BB King's. We had did a performance, and it was funny because he actually, he was performing, and at that time I wasn't even rapping. Like I was rapping, but we was a crew. So my most memorable performance at was that. It wasn't even my own. It was actually that, and so
mm,
we had staged it to where, because he has asthma and all, he had asthma and everything. You know what I'm saying? We had staged it to where faked it. He caught asthma attack. You know what I mean? We faked it. You know what I'm saying? And he fell out and all of
mm.
that. And then, he was just like, yo, get it. Like, yo, we need somebody. He's like, hurry up, get the paramedics, get the paramedics. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing a record called Too Fat. Like, I'm too fat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually staged that. And he was on the floor and everything. And when he got up, he's like, I'm too fat, nigga. And everybody just lost their mind. You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy because it was my idea to stage that. You know what I mean? It was my idea to stage it. So it was amazing when
Mm,
we did it. It actually worked. And so I was just like, wow, this is crazy. But I got that element of showmanship, what a lot of people don't understand what showmanship and and a real show is entertainment. Like, I got that from, once again, my big bros. You know what I'm saying? And just watching them, like you said, we're from where we're from, and there's no excuse. You either got it or you don't. Nobody cares. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter.
thanks.
You either at the top or you just not. You know what I mean? You at the top of the food chain. If you on the block, you the best on the block. If you in the school, you the best in the school. And if somebody else had a name in the school, you go at him to see who's the best. It was all about the competition of, and that's what actually pushed the pen. That would push the culture. That's what pushed the sounds,
Mhm.
and that's what made it go all over the world. Because we never took no for an answer. We always wanted to be the best.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that was my favorite. That was my most memorable show. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't me
Mm,
actually rapping. It was that right there, which was just amazing. And it was about 40 of us too. You know what I mean? We was in heavy. Bronx was in it heavy. You know what I'm saying? So it was really,
oh
really
man.
yeah, it was very memorable. Like, it was funny because in the beginning, we was walked up 40 deep and everything, and they was like, yeah, we can't let y'all in here. Y'all can't come in here. I mean, what you talking about? Like, yeah, yeah. He said, just put it like this, man. If something go on, we can't even handle all y'all. You know what I'm saying? So what we started doing, we was just, some people had to stay outside. You know what I mean? Some people had to stay outside, and some people came in. You know,
No doubt.
so it was
Yeah.
ill. But that was like my most memorable time of doing the show. And if you want to go, like, since I was like, when I was a kid, my most memorable, because back in the day I used to play congas. You know what I'm saying? And this is before
Mm,
I was rapping. You know what I mean? And I was a little guy. Got on that stage, my own solo. I caught a rush from that. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never
yeah.
forget that. But I played the congas solo. And happy Kwanzaa, everybody. But I played the congas slow, like solo, and it was crazy. So those are the two most memorable shows, man. Whoa, whoa,
No.
hold on. There's another one too. You making
Oh,
me
no
bring it
doubt. Yeah.
back. Um, Shout out to Doo-Wop, man. It's crazy.
Mm,
When I used to rock with Doo-Wop, Doo-Wop had always gave me the microphone. I wasn't the nicest MC at the time. I wasn't the nicest rapper at the time, but I knew how to do a show. I knew how to bring people. Yeah, I knew how to grab and gravitate, you know what I'm saying? Like, make people gravitate towards me. So a lot of things that he would do, like, he would always like, yo, here, this is the microphone. You know what I mean? He'd give it to me. And, that right there had helped me just gain more and more confidence. So them little shows that we used to do, at the club and all of that, it was just ill. Like, I would pretty much dope, like, it would be a dope turnout just because I kicked it off. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, that's pretty much it, man.
that's fire. I like that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Oh man. So okay. That's so let me ask you this then. Because you said doo wop, and it just made me. It took me back in a time capsule for a minute, and I was like, man, I remember I used to. I remember riding around listening to the doo wop Jones. Like, okay, um, I guess the question is this. Um, I talk to people from a lot of different places around the country. And I mean, even since I moved out here to the West Coast.
Yep.
Um, and one of the things that a lot of people say that aren't from, well, people in LA don't really say this, but like other people in most other places I've been will say, New York got an unfair advantage because they have all the record labels there, all of the rappers and the producers are just walking around, and you can just bump into anybody at any time. Da 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 da. There's a point. There was a time when I felt like that might have been true.
Absolutely.
That there was a time when I believed it was 100% true. Um,
Absolutely.
do you still find that to be the case, or has the ease of everything with the internet kind of sized that window down a little bit, so to where it's not like New York dominant at this point?
Labels don't even exist anymore when it comes to that. Getting signed don't even exist. There was a lot of brothers from the West Coast, a lot of brothers from down south. Down south really didn't have an ear. Shout out to the down south. They never really had an ear, and they just started to develop the culture on their own. You know what I'm saying? And they brought the labels to them. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So nah, it was, of course they were coming to New York because there was people who came to New York, you know what I mean, like Primo and people like that grew. They even said it themselves, like, they came up to New York to make it work, to make it happen because there was no opportunities down there. It was just much slower down there during that time. New York City was always fast, was always on the go. It was just that kind of energy that was in New York. So because it being like that, um, is why all the money migrated and always all been, but all the money started to migrate even more to New York City because that's the melting pot of your network. You know what I'm saying? It was the
Mm-hmm.
melting pot. So absolutely. But when it comes to, the labels don't even exist anymore, man. You can just go ahead and do your own thing. You can just do your own thing and that's it. It's bottom line. New York City is really spoiled because dudes is still looking for deals. Dudes is still looking to get signed. I'm not talking about New York State. I'm talking about New York City. You know what I'm saying? Still looking for a deal. So I'm looking for somebody to sign them. Somebody gonna save you. Ain't nobody gonna save you, bro. Nobody's gonna save you. You got to go out there and you got to take what's yours. Whatever you feel that is yours, you got to take it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. But New York City has been spoiled on that aspect. Which down south artists, and artists who didn't like was in truly great areas, like even Tech Nine. Was in these great
Mm.
areas. They was just really, really like, you know what, man? These dudes ain't paying attention to me. They're not even paying attention to my people's or us. They're not paying attention to us. So I'm gonna be the voice. You know what I'm saying? They want to hear hip hop,
Thanks.
but I'm gonna be the voice. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at it also, these labels were going to all of these, they wasn't paying attention to the gray areas. You know what I'm saying? You had New York, Chicago, LA, uh whatever other big city, and that's it. You just had those big cities. And that was it. That's all they really
Yeah.
concentrated on. They never concentrated on the gray areas. So being that, a lot of artists came from these gray areas and a lot of great artists came from these gray areas, man, it was just
Oh yeah.
proving to show that we never really needed the labels really. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make people come to you.
Yeah. Because man, I wish that
Mhm.
I tried to explain this to a young brother the other day. I was like, bro, listen to me. This is the one thing you gotta always remember. You think your music is like, oh, this song is old. It's old to who exactly? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like the beauty of being an independent artist and knowing that you haven't reached everybody you could possibly reach is that song can live forever now because it's gonna be brand new to somebody tomorrow and
Right.
brand new to somebody else the day after that. Like your hustle is going to determine, you know what I'm saying, how far you go with this. It ain't a matter of being signed to no record label. It's a matter of how much you believe in yourself, and how much you're willing to sacrifice to get there. Oh man. See, I need to I got yeah. If I'm trying to put together something with most of the MCs that I know, especially guys that have been on the pod and ladies that have been on the pod, putting together something to kind of give the younger MCs that I run across, kind of like a guidebook, kind of hey, we can't walk you all the way through it, but before you put that first yo on a microphone and start putting shit on SoundCloud and doing all that dumb shit, before you start doing it here, listen to this first
Hmm.
or read this first. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Once you do that, you're good to go. Go
Just
off
the
to the race.
foundation, man.
Yeah.
Just anything. If you playing basketball, whoever was your foundation, you gotta. It's a little different with hip hop, but whoever was your foundation, you gotta ask them who was their foundation. You know what I'm saying? And if
Mm-hmm.
you want to be great, you gotta ask them who was their foundation. You gotta ask the people who was their foundation, their foundation. You gotta always go to the forefathers, man. You gotta do that in order to keep music alive and do good music too at that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of elements that goes into making songs,
Mm-hmm.
making records. There are a lot of elements that go into it, and you got to compile that in 2.5 minutes these days. You know what I'm saying? And it's a practice thing. It's a continue wash, rinse, repeat. It's continued. You know what I mean? Until you kind of like effortlessly get it. You know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
you have help from producers, who are producers, not beat makers. Producers are the people who also have a vision and can show you, like, hey, this is the record that because they have the elements, they know about elements of what if this bar needs to be here. if you need to be repeating this because it's the ear candy, you should be repeating it, or certain things like that. Um, so they need to really go and and do their research. You're 100% correct. Do their research, and then they know they can continue making great records, and then that stand the test of time.
No doubt. Well, from what you see, where you are, is there a what's the best way to put it? Okay, is there a there seems to be a overwhelming thought that there's a disconnection from the culture itself amongst the younger cats. And I mean, I get what they're saying because a lot of them only gravitate to the rap part, or maybe fortunate enough that they do graffiti because they like to draw. You know what I'm saying? But they're not necessarily into b-boy, and they don't really care about who the DJ is as long as the music's good. They don't really have that connection to the culture like that. And now I personally feel like there's been a resurgence in the culture itself recently. Not recently, I'll say within the last 5 to 7 years. What from what you see where you are, especially being that you are in the seat, you know what I'm saying? What does it look like as far as the youth coming up in the game that you're seeing now?
Um, Lack of it's crazy. There's so much information out here that is lack of information, but you can't just blame. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I'll put it on the old heads. You know what I'm saying? I put a lot of stuff on the old heads because, you know, um, and I'm not really talking about gatekeeping. I'm not really talking about that. I just put it on the old heads who want to just say, hey, not they're more talking at him instead of talking with him, talking to him. You know what I mean? They're more like that. And if you understand, you see in every era, you know, there is some kind of rebellion with the youngins to the with the older cats. Well, and you say to to your parents, it's somewhere along the line is going to be a stage where there will be rebellion. You know what I mean? It
No
will be
doubt.
rebellious. You know what I'm saying? And when the kids are being rebellious, and then you got the old heads saying you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I'm telling you not to do this. I'm telling you not to do that. But then you're not really figuring out another way to get to them. You know what I'm saying? And so
Mm,
they say, yo, you know what? Or you being disrespectful to a point where, it turns them off. So they say, yo, you know what? I don't need you. I'm just gonna do my own thing. So just like
yeah.
having and also too, it's a lot of absent fathers. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's a lot of absent fathers that because I'm gonna keep it 100. Like when I do shows, you know what I'm saying? I got people who come pull up and they be pulling up with their kids. You know what I'm saying? They pull up with their sons because they wanna show them like, yo, this is the real. This is the real. This is that hip hop. This is that real. This is what you need.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying? And when they see that, and they start to look, and I give off the energy of I give off that energy where they like, nah, I relate to son. I relate to him. You know what I mean? He got it. You know what I mean? I relate to him. He understands. My pops don't get it though. But this dude right here, he
mm,
get it. You know what I'm saying? So those are the people that they tend to follow and would like to learn also because they can relate. I think that um when I was growing up, my mom's, you know what I'm saying, really she was a little different, but and for most parts, let's say my grandparents, right? My grandmother really didn't understand, you know, the way I was coming up. You know what I'm saying?
right.
It probably was against a lot of it. You know what I mean? But couldn't stop it. You couldn't stop it. And it's the same thing as now. We're against a lot of stuff that that the youngins is doing, right? But you can't stop it, right? You can't stop it. But if you add fuel to the fire, you're gonna make it worse.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna make it worse. So the best thing to do is the same thing as if you're trying to reprimand your son and your son is being rebellious, you trying to reprimand him and it ain't working, you gotta figure out another way to get to him. You know what I'm saying? You figure out another way to get to them. So that's what I really put the hands on. Like I salute the young brothers that's out there really doing it and trying to do it, and doing all, doing their best that they feel that they need to do it. Um, we both need to listen on each side. You know what I'm saying? The older heads,
Yes.
the older heads, and the youngest, we both need to listen. You know what I'm saying? So we can come to a meeting and say, yo, you know what? This is this is what's fire. And then the youngest is like, yo, you know what? Yeah, that's fire. But now check this though. Like this is that, blah, blah, blah. Like we need to do this
Yeah.
too. So what you do is you integrate it and it continues to push the culture forward. You know what I'm saying? Even though we are the culture. You know what I'm saying? We are the culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the foundation, but I am the culture. Because I wasn't around during the foundation. I was a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like little, you know what I mean? So, you know, damn born, basically. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
wasn't there at that time. I wasn't there. I came in at a different era. But even in that era that I came in, there were uh there was still communication with your grandmother and the grandson. There was still
Hmm.
communication. You know what I'm saying? But these days, that communication, your grandmother is 35, your grandmother's 40 years old, and they haven't learned enough. You know what I'm saying? They
Thanks.
haven't learned enough. So the stuff that they giving you, 35 and 40 years old, but you got a 15-year-old, a 17-year-old, you know what I mean? And and you still outside and you doing certain things, is difficult. It's difficult. So when a person with a lot more wisdom and understanding come through and try to teach a young, and they be like, man, you crazy, man, you get out of my face, you bugging. You know what I'm saying? I was raised like this, and this is how I'm going, you know? And they might not say it
Right.
verbally, but it just be in their actions, you know what I'm saying?
Sure thing. Yeah. And it's kind of one of those situations where I tell people a lot. If you listen to the music, like if you honestly listen to the music all the way through the timeline, you'll recognize when that time came when the younger generation was like, "Wait, what? Hold up, nah, like
100%,
we gonna
100%.
do this." You know what I'm saying? And then you watch that be the wave until the next group of young people was like, "Nah, we gonna do this." You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and I love to see it. I love
But
to see
even
the
those,
evolution, man. I love to see the evolution.
absolutely. And it's crazy that you say that too, because remember, it went from what you call it, like bounce music, you know what I'm saying? Then it
Yeah.
went to the trap music. From the trap music it went to the drill music. Then when it went to the drill music, it went to sexy drill. It went to certain
Mm.
things. So basically it was like, okay, a dude doing bounce music is like, yeah, nah, we ain't doing that. I'm doing drill music. You know what I'm saying? Drill music came about. You know what I mean? And the people who was listening on the outside looking in, like, yo, you know what? Nah, I'm doing sexy drill. I ain't shooting nobody, but I like the ladies. So I'm gonna take that music and I'm gonna do this. So it's all about, once again, it's really no different. Like I'm trying to be different from you, but I ain't trying to do too much where people won't get it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So this is what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when Melly Mel and all them brothers was coming up, and then you had KRS-One, and then you had Kane in them. You know what I'm saying? And then after
Mm.
that, you had Nas in them, you had Jay in them, and then after that, you had blah blah blah. So forth and so on. It's just like, yo, this stuff is dope, but I know I could do something different. You know what I'm saying? So it's really no different. They actually, the only thing that's the same is that they have the same dictionary. You know what I'm saying? And the same slang from
Mm.
everywhere. You know what I mean? And that's whack.
Yep.
You know what I mean? The same dictionary is weak because it's not telling me where you from. It's not really telling me. Give me your
Mm.
slang. Take me to your world. Take me to Baltimore. Take me to DC. Take me to that little town in Arkansas. Take me to that little town in Alaska. Take me there. I want to know what the life is like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to know what it's like. And that's what it was. Like that's how it was when you had dudes from the South started to come out. You know what I'm saying? For people who didn't come down south, they wanted to know, like, yo, who's these cats? Oh wow, they got a different accent. Oh wow, they don't rock with the Benzes, but they rock with the old schools with the super big rims. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why I want to know what your culture is like down there. The foundation is hip hop, but I want to know what your culture is like. Where you from? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And these days it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? The only culture that, and it ain't a culture, was that with the drill music, these kids is killing each other. You know what I'm saying? Straight killing each other. You know what I mean? Just straight
Mm.
bodying each other. That's universal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what that's like. You know what I mean? Don't nobody know what's like what's your slang? How, like how you, like how the girls talk out there, like, What's the hot spots out there? What kind of whips y'all be driving? You know what I'm saying? It ain't like that
Yeah.
no more. Now it's like everything that, and people don't like this, but everything that New York City has made the foundation of, as far as clothes wise, everybody's dressing the same way now. Everybody's dressing the same way now. It don't have to be like that. It really don't. You know what I mean? It really don't have to be like that. What make you, what's like your dress code? Like, you from Chicago? All right, your dress code is what? You from LA? Your dress code is what? You know what I'm saying? Like, we been was doing the caps. We been was wearing baggy clothes. We been was wearing slim jeans. We been was, stuff like that. Like, it's just different eras. But since we've been the innovators of it, New York has been the innovators of it. It's like, what's different? That's why a lot of people be going, overseas, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that, just to see what kind of flavor, you know what I'm saying, because they're not the culture, but we come back and we bring that to the culture. Like, yo, boom, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
This is how I'm dressing in the hood. Like, this is fire. This is how I'm dressing in the hood. But meanwhile, you don't know this dude went overseas, or you don't know this dude went to DC, or you don't know this dude went to uh 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 wherever the hell in the United States, or Jamaica. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know where this dude been, but sometimes it's all in the energy, man. It's all in the
Yeah.
energy. You know?
Yeah, and you know what? It's crazy you say that because it was a topic of conversation that came up of how you used to be able to identify somebody like by their
Exactly.
music, like what their music sound like, or like even if it don't sound the exact same as everybody where they from, like something about how they sound would tell you where they from. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden it was like in one fell swoop, everybody started sounding exactly the same. And now I
Right.
don't know where anybody's from now. So now I gotta ask, where's he from? They're like, oh, he's from Brooklyn. He's from Brooklyn?
Right.
Yeah, but
Right.
he sounds just like the dude I just heard from Memphis, and just like the
Right.
dude I just heard from Houston, and just like the
Right.
chick I just heard from
Right.
fucking Portland. Like
Right.
it all sound the same. Um,
Right.
so yeah, and the slang part of it is big for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when I was a kid, I was like, yo, as close as it was, I didn't know nothing about Jersey. I didn't know nothing about Philly. I didn't know nothing about
Right.
neither one of them, and they was right there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But then hip hop, I started hearing the stories, and now when I go on tour, hey, take me to this place because I heard it in this hip hop song. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I heard
Right.
it in
Right.
this
Right.
record. Yo,
Exactly.
take me there. Um, and that kind of became our roadmap to learning each other and learning each other's experiences. Yeah, man. Yeah. See, that's why I love talk. I already knew just from listening to your music. I was like, this brother thinks. I love talking to thinkers because you're saying things that need to be heard. But and a lot of younger MCs and artists listen to this podcast. So like,
Fire.
jewels for y'all need that. Y'all need this right
Fire.
now.
Mhm.
I do got a question though. Where's War One?
It's a good question. That's really a good question. It's on reefhustle.com. Go to reefhustle.com.
Got you.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? War
Got
Part
you.
1 is on reefhustle.com. I had actually took it down from all major platforms, which I shouldn't have done, but I did it, but it's on reefhustle.com. You know what I'm saying? Because that's going to be everybody who have their music out, instead of going to these other places, is going to turn into everybody having their own little website. It's just that what people haven't figured out is the real convenience for the average consumer. You know what I'm saying? And because it may cost a whole bunch of bread, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the situation is, but people haven't found out that most convenient way to do it is the reason why we still go to um all of the other the major platforms, and saying, instead of going to our own platform
Mm.
and having and drawing people to our own platform. You know what I mean? Because people, like, if I say, yo, go to reefhustle.com, right? Um, they got the phone right in their hand. Most people is not going to type in
Yeah.
the
I went right
address.
to it. I went right to it
Right.
right when you said
Yeah, you know what I'm
it.
saying? But most people won't do it. You know what I'm saying? Me and you
Nah.
having this conversation, and we building right now, and but the average person that you want to, who wants to hear you, they want to have, and they don't know who you are, but they just want to hear you. They want to go to the most convenient and easiest way to get to you.
Absolutely.
And that part just haven't been figured out yet. Once that part is figured out, yeah, these places is definitely going to have these major platforms. It's not major labels no more, it's major platforms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is same thing, really. You know what I mean? Once it goes to yes, yeah, you know what I mean. When they come to your stuff, when they come, like I wanted to become a one stop shop, but it's not for right now. I'm thinking for the future, and that's what it's for. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to hear a lot of my catalog is on reefhustle.com. I got some new stuff that's on all major platforms, which is War Two. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only thing that's up. But I do have features that I've done with Diamond D. I got features that I've done with Buck Wow. I got features that I did that I'm on, that I'll continue to be on major platforms. But that's a
Oh
good question.
man. Yeah, I'm looking. I'm like, yo, okay. I'm gonna have to copy some more. So copy some more Reef Hustle, no doubt.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
So in that case, since I know that the people can automatically run to this, and I know because I'll be able to put the link. Actually, I'm gonna put the link to the website and the link to for those of y'all who you know what I'm gonna just put the link to the website. If you on whatever streaming platform, that's probably where you listen to this anyway, so you can get there. War Two, and specifically, the joint. Now, first of all, shout out to my homegirl MJ. I know I
Shout out
shout
to
her out on a
MJ.
regular basis. MJ is
Yeah,
awesome. I've been
yeah.
able to connect with some really, 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 really dope people thanks to MJ. Um, so she hit me. She hit the inbox and she was like, "Hey, yo, bro, listen, got this joint. Got this joint that just came out that I'm pushing." And I was like, "All right." So I look, and I mean, I am a diehard 38 Special fan. Die hard. Like I'm like,
Yeah,
yo, if I see his name on the record, I'm hitting play because I know he. If
yeah,
I don't like nothing else, I know I'm gonna like him. So I'm
yeah.
like, okay, cool. So I was like, okay, Fly Talk. All right, sounds like something I might dig. Let's see what we got. I hit play, and it, I just got to say this. Other than Benny the Butcher, probably it ain't a whole lot of people I heard on a record that I feel like like 38 Special ain't just like running like pulling away from them like you say both, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
y'all right there. Like it's right there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all swinging. Swing. I'm loving that. Um how did you connect with 38 and like what was the like the genesis of this record?
First of all, shout out to 38 Special, man. 12/29 is his B day. That's tomorrow, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, true
Uh
indeed. It'll
yeah,
be
shout
out.
out to my bro.
It'll
Oh,
be out
oh,
today. Yeah, no doubt.
yeah, yeah. All right, that's what's up.
Happy born day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother 38 Special, man. We actually met through my brother Fred the Godson. You know what I'm saying? And that was just
Mm,
that was 2015, something like that. 2015, 2016, around that area. But we stayed locked in since. You know what I'm saying? He's a solid brother, he's a good brother, you know what I'm saying? And that's who I'm working with, closely. You know what I'm saying? I got a surprise for everybody. But 38 Specials, definitely solid dude and one of the he to me, he's definitely a big pioneer of what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
He's definitely a big pioneer of that, man, ill producer, ill MC. Shout out to my brother 38 Special, man. But we were locked in since then. You know what I'm saying?
No
Yep.
doubt.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Special's crazy, yo. Like so I mean the record Fly Talk, like who produced the joint?
My man Dennis Agony Jenkins, man, he produced the joint.
No doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that gentleman, he's done amazing records for Iggy Azalea, Crooked Eye, Justin Bieber. I mean, you name it,
Jeez.
Rakim, Redman. Like the son is nasty with it. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
Mm,
You know what I mean? He's crazy. So, he sent me the beat, and I was just like, oh nah, this is next level. You know what I'm saying? So I sent it to 38, man, and I was like, yo, I need your blessing. And he was like, no doubt, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how the record just came about, brother. Like you said, everybody really loves that record, and for people who don't know who I am and they hear that record, just like you said, Special usually leaves. He leaves a lot of people who like who just is not as on that level of a platform that he's on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just grateful that people likes the like the record And however they feel, which is good. But I've been getting a lot of those responses. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's a good thing to hear when I'm spawned with a LMC such as himself. You know what I'm saying? And to have an
Facts.
actual, have an actual piece that can that is really good. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm just grateful, man. I'm just grateful, man. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm just grateful, bro.
I feel it. Now,
Word.
in the making of War Two, even beyond the joint, like what was your favorite song to create? What was the I guess the that session that was just like, yeah, like, yeah,
So
we that's it.
that's a good question. First, War Two stands for What About Reef Hustle, right? It's a story and it's a real story. You know what I'm saying? About the trials and tribulations that I went through when Pun passed away. I was actually one of Big Pun's artists, you know what I'm saying? My man Fred the Godson, which was my man, he passes away. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, um, my mom passes away, and then my brother passes away all in the span of 5 years. You know what I'm saying? And so it was really a tough hit. I was also going through family problems. I was going through stuff there where my back was against the wall, and there were times where I had to just do what I had to do, and I put it all on that piece of work. You know what I'm saying? I put it all on that piece of work. That album is amazing. I will take you through a certain time and point in my life, and I will give you the movie. You know what I'm saying? So when you listen to that, it's ill. Now the number two stands for Reef Hustle and George Bell. I will get to that in a second. But the
Mm,
question that going back to what you was asking me, it was a lot of records that I felt that way. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I had to explain what I was explaining. Even the record in the beginning, War Two, you know, I tell you about a lot of things, a lot of things, but I'm kind of like giving you in the beginning, I'm giving you kind of like the what's that? You look at the glossary, it's like
yeah.
you're looking at the glossary, you know what I'm saying? When you see the glossary and then you start to go through every record. But one of my favorite records, um, that I was just like I was actually crying, actually, was the record that I did about my brother. You know what I'm saying? My brother was my number one fan. He was everything, man. He's the reason why he was the reason why I did hip hop. You know what I'm saying? My other two guys, my brother Ron Benefit, and my big bro, he's still around. My big bro, DJ Ron K. I appreciate you. Um, they were the
Um,
reason that my foundation was hip hop. So the the song My Brother was one of those joints that really, really um made me say, yeah, this is it. And I can go to
mm,
also a record called Mama Love. You know what I'm saying? And it speaks
mm-hmm.
about, it speaks about, you know, my mom's, man, and how good she was to me. You know what I'm saying? And certain things that she done just to keep me good, just to keep me safe. I didn't realize that, there were times where she had to starve just to keep me fed. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So I just had to show love to that. But then I can also go to uh uh I can also go to a record called um New Age, right? New Age is
Mm,
kind of is ill because New Age was definitely you talking about like feeling. New Age was one of them. But Benediction, I think, was the one that really, really took me to that. Yeah, this is it. Because I felt that it was shout out to the Heat Makers. My man Austin is, he's the one who
okay.
produced that record. Shout out to him. He has such powerful music. You know what I'm saying? He did a lot of the Dipset stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
he had a lot of powerful music, and because of that, you had like the greats on your music. You know what I'm saying? You had the greats on your beats. You know what I mean? And he has a unique way of making beats. So I knew I had to be powerful on that record. But it had kind of like celebrated a point in time where I was done with the album and my life was explained the last 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
So I encourage you guys to really go and listen to that. Now, like I said, the two stands for Reef Hustle and George Bell. George Bell is a gentleman that I met a few years ago. He is now my brother. He is a good brother. He was incarcerated for 24 years and exonerated. You know what I'm saying? So I speak about
Mm.
that as well. Me and him became very, very close friends, brothers, you know what I mean? And I had to give his story, right? I had to give his story to the people and let them know, like, it's about having faith and having the belief in what you do and don't stop and never give up. You know what I'm saying? And he was one of those guys who did 24 years in prison from 19 years old to his 40s, you know what I'm saying? And was
Mm.
exonerated. He was totally innocent. You know what I mean? So, you
Man,
know, nothing is impossible. Nothing. Nothing is impossible.
indeed.
If you believe it, it'll work. But that War 2 album is something amazing, man. And thank you for everybody who was on there. My man Buck Wow from DIT
Fuck.
TC. He's definitely on there too. You know what I mean? That's my brother as well. But thank you for everybody who actually helped me do this album, who helped me put it together. Freedom Wave is the movement. You know what I'm saying? TBM forever. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Big Pun, man. I mean, hey, if you don't know, now you know. And if you want to find out, you can go to my handles, man. Reef Hustle _ IG. You know what I'm saying? Reef Hustle, Twitter, Reef Hustle, Facebook, man. You know what I'm saying? You can DM me on all of them, and we rocking. You know what I'm saying? This ain't the end of the
Yeah,
interview, but I just need to let people know this is how serious and this is how dear this album is to me, man. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
real.
Yeah.
It's real. That's one of the things that I got as I was listening to the music. Cause I was like, okay, the link that she sent me took me directly to the single, but then I saw that the single was part of a project, and I was like, whoa,
Yes,
hold
sir.
up. Well, let me just listen to the whole thing, man. And I was
Yes,
like,
sir. Yes, sir.
oh, okay. A person, I'm an album guy. You know what I'm saying? I nothing against singles. If a
Yeah.
single's a dope record, then I'm cool with it just being a dope record. But like, I'm an album guy. I like to hear the whole vision. You know what I mean?
Right. The
So
collective. Yup.
yeah. So like when I'm listening to when I listened to the song itself, I was like, yo, this is dope. But then when
Right.
I heard it in the context of the project, I was like, oh, that just made it even doper. Like,
Right.
okay, now this is I get it. Okay, cool.
Right.
Um,
Because Fly Talk was one of those things, right? Fly
mhm,
Talk was one of those things that, see, I'm a workout guy. I love working out. You know what I'm saying? And Fly Talk is one of the things, it's gym talk, man. It's gym talk. When you talking amongst the fellas and you that solid and you talking to another brother that's solid, you gonna talk that shit. You understand?
no
You gonna
doubt,
talk
no
that talk.
doubt.
So, that's and that's basically what, like, really what that was about, man. Because after all of that, to have my sanity and my therapy is the gym. Music and therapy is the gym. You know what I'm saying? And that's what that record Fly Talk, that's the energy that I wanted it to have. And it has that energy.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Hell yeah. Oh man, if there's a okay, I'll answer this both ways. Pause. Producer and MC, producer and MC, somebody that you want to work with still that you haven't, but that's high on your list of people that you absolutely feel like you gotta do some work with.
It's a lot of people, man. Everybody would say, of course, everybody's gonna say Dr. Dre. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Um, but Dr. Dre. You know what I'm saying? Primo's one of them guys. Yeah,
No
Primo's one of
doubt.
them guys. Um, that's a really good question, man. I would literally have to, because there's dudes that's unknown that's just
Mm-hmm.
that good as well. They just unknown. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Um Buck Wild, of course. You know what I mean? Lord Finesse. I want a piece from
Mm,
him. Pause. I would like to, to get something from him. He's a different kind of scientist. You know what I'm saying? The
absolutely.
new the newer people, the newer people, um, I keep it 100. I really don't know, but also I would say Pharrell, of course. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get music from
Mm,
him. He's an ill dude. There's some brothers. What's the gentleman's name? The gentleman from Atlanta. Um, Dallas Austin is another brother.
mm,
Dallas Austin is another dude. You know what I'm
genius.
saying? Yeah, he's another genius. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love Pete Rock is another guy. Like, I like scientists. You know what I'm saying? I like scientists. producers. You know what I'm saying? Producers and scientists. I like those guys. I like those nerds. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why you get in the music. You know, you get these classic music that don't go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like these are, and it's just a small piece of these guys. It's just a small piece of the people that I'm naming, but it's so many producers that I would love to work with. No idea is another dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Is the Alchemist is another guy. You know what I'm saying? Um, forget about it, man. It's just yeah. You know what I mean?
yes.
So it's so many of them because they and they got
Mm,
different styles and different ways to do certain things. But these are definitely the guys that I would love to work with. There's a few more. I was
mm,
homeboy from Hit Boy actually too, because he has so much wide
mm.
range and he understands a lot. So he has a wide range of music. You know what I'm saying? And
Oh
he's another
yeah.
brother that I would like to work with. But the list goes on and on, man. It's not just one specific. You know, not just one
That.
specific, but I loved also musicians as well. You know what I'm saying? Musicians is just that's a whole different level. You know what I mean? But I'm
Mm,
because I'm a nerd myself, man. I'm a nerd myself. I'm a scientist. I think certain ways, and you know, people might think you're bugged out, but you're really not bugged out. You know what I'm saying? You got what it takes. But those are the guys I would love to rock with, of course.
that'll be dope. I can see that. All right. So if that's the i- if somebody walked up to you, right, and they said, "All right, look, bro, I don't really got time to listen to everything right now, but I got your whole catalog right here. I need you to give me one record that I'm gonna listen to that's gonna tell me who you are and is that's gonna tell me who you are and gonna bring me back to make me listen to the rest." What song is that?
War, War Two, War Two is that record for sure. War Two is that record. That's gonna take you. That's gonna take you. It's gonna take you for a ride. It's gonna take you for a ride. You getting on. You putting on your seatbelt, the double one that you get on the roller coaster. You put that one on. You know what I'm saying? And you just gonna go like this. You know what I'm saying? You go. You know what I mean?
No doubt,
So
no doubt.
War Two is that record will make you go to my whole catalog and make you go through my whole catalog.
Mm,
Yep.
okay, hell yeah, I like that. That's got to be the that probably was the quickest answer to that question I've ever got. Most people just it take them forever, and I'm like, man, I get it though. I get it
Yeah.
though, but like, yeah,
Yep.
especially if you only got one shot to make that impression. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
a
Like
fact.
if you only
That's a
got one
fact.
shot to make that impression, it
That's a
matters.
fact. Because that
Um,
song is that song, that record is it gives you the resume. It gives you the
right.
resume all in 2.5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm looking for a job. Boom, here you go. So all my credentials right here. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? That's why. That's why that's the
facts,
record right there. But
facts.
my
I fuck
apologies.
with
Go
that.
ahead. My bad. My
Nah,
apologies.
you good, you good. That makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Okay. Hell yeah. So okay. Um, I was gonna ask you a somewhat unrelated but still related question. Your thoughts on uh there seems to be a general consensus that 2025 has been a phenomenal year for hip hop. I don't disagree with that sentiment, but I always like to get the insight from other hip hop heads. Um, what was your take on 2025 in hip hop?
Um 2020 2025 um is good thanks to Mass Appeal. I'm
Mm,
saying thank you to
mm,
Mass
mm,
Appeal,
mm,
man.
mm.
Um
Yes.
2025 is really good, man. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much what I could say about that. I I would say hip hop is in good hands. One thing that I feel that Nas is doing is he's giving the foundation on wax again. And
Mm-hmm.
it leaves, since we have the internet now, this stuff is playing all over the place. It's on the World Wide Web. And because of the platform that he has, that he been having, um, he really doesn't have to do this. I'm saying he has enough money now that he don't have to rap. what I'm saying? But it just goes to show that he's for the culture before the sales. You know what I'm saying? He's for the culture. And even when he was, you know, getting his getting his bag, he still was going against the grain. He still was going against the grain. That was a couple of times where, of course, business and politics comes into play, and you making certain records where they're like, listen, you got to make this record. You got to make this record. You know what I'm saying? And when you ain't in total a position of power, you're gonna have to compromise. You're gonna have to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But now he's in a
Right.
super position of power, and he's really showing you the true person that he is, and the culture of hip hop is in great hands because he's holding it up. He's holding up. It ain't even about the money for him. It's not about the money for him. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Right.
got it. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the bread. You know what I mean? And that's what's going to um help the culture move forward. It's going to help people understand the culture, foundation of the culture, and it's gonna be great.
Mhm.
It's gonna be great. But 2025, thanks to Mass Appeal, man. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
Yeah.
hold on. Also, I gotta also thank you to 38 Special and the brothers from up top,
Oh yeah.
Griselda. I gotta thank those guys too because man, they've been putting out phenomenal stuff as well. Them and their crews,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? And you gotta thank them because they've been holding this shit down when New York City wasn't. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? That's a fact. They was holding it down when New York City wasn't. You know what I'm saying? New York
Sure
State
did.
was holding that motherfucker down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for them, even 2025, for them, West Side and all them guys, it's just amazing. You know what I'm saying? Uh, 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 it was just amazing for them guys. Also, Ransom and other MCs that's in
Mm.
that, yeah, that's in that realm, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's gonna run.
It's just, yeah, like it's just really crazy. It's like really crazy, man. You know,
Yeah.
Rome Streets as well. Just all these dudes, man. A lot of them, man. Just a lot of them. And I'm looking in the air. I'm kind of spaced out because I'm thinking about these guys. But even like I said, 2025, man. It has been. I think it's really been good. It's really been good. It really has.
Oh yeah.
It really has. It really has. So let's see what 2026 bring. More Reef
Yeah.
Hustle. You heard?
Look, hey, no doubt, no doubt. So I mean, what's next? What's up next for you? You planning on touring or what you got in the bag? What's coming up?
I got a couple things in the bag that I really can't say until it's put on ink. You know what I'm
No doubt.
saying? Once it's put on ink, then it's a go. You definitely gonna hear it, man. But you can find me on all my platforms, and it's definitely gonna be a go. I also got a surprise something I really don't want to talk about. But the crazy thing is, this is the era where you just let everything out the bag. I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna come with the music. I'm gonna show and prove, and then I'm gonna talk about it once it's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So right now everything is in the works, the new stuff, the new wave is in the works. And I'm definitely gonna make a bigger mark than I made last year. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hip hop is it's in great hands, believe that. Because I'm coming for
No
sure.
doubt.
You know what I'm
Yeah, we
saying?
got to get you out here to the northwest, man. Got to get you out to the northwest, yo.
I
It's
can't wait. I can't wait.
it's a different vibe out here, like all the way live. Like it's different. It's very different.
Fire.
But I
Fire.
think I think it'll work, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all already know what it is, man. Make sure y'all tune in with Reef Hustle, reefhustle.com. As a matter of fact, go straight to the source. I understand how easy streaming is and all of that, but y'all need to understand as independent artists, y'all do us way bigger favors. Do a much greater service to our continuously being able to give you dope music when you just come get it from the source. It empowers us way more than you going to listen to it on wherever you probably streaming this podcast right now. Yeah. Reef, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you, bro. Yo, Fly Talk of War 2 out now. Salute to 38 Special. Salute to everybody that was involved in the album.
That's a
Um,
fact.
please go run that up. Go run that up. And hey, listen, if the streaming is streaming the best way you got to support, then go run it up through the ceiling. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Go run it up through
Word.
the ceiling. That's how you do that.
Word.
That's how you
However
do
you want
that.
to do it. Yeah, that's a fact.
You
Yeah, just
know what
pull
I'm
up,
saying?
man. Hit me on the gram or hit me on whatever, DM me, whatever, man. We chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. For sure.
No doubt, man.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
I'm at to get at you, man. I'm at to get at you. We definitely need to talk. We
Yes, sir.
definitely need to talk. Yo,
Yes,
y'all
sir.
know what it is, man. Thank y'all for locking in with us, man. Side Barz brought to you by Pantha Politix Podcast Network. That's Reef Hustle. I am Seven Da Pantha. This is Side Barz. Catch y'all next time, fam. Peace.
I don't cheese for the cam, nigga. If you smile on the gram, they caught me slipping. I'm that nigga. Right? Fame for the young, just cut the check. Let me rap, nigga. Rap, nigga. Gravatalks, now I'm a traveling smack dealer. Get all Jenny Lamb butcher. This is like the confessional of a lyrical career criminal. Success minimal, cause I won't.